Now let's return to developing story tonight on the UN's World Heritage Committee decision not to declare the Great Barrier Reef in danger. The Deputy Premier of Queensland, Jackie Trad, was in the UNESCO meeting in Bonn, Germany, where the decision was made, and she joins us now. Thank you so much for your time this evening. Give us a sense. Good to talk. Give us a sense of what happened in that meeting.
It was quite extraordinary, actually, Beverly, because every single one of the UN committee, each member of 21 members of the 21-member committee made a contribution, and the draft report was adopted unanimously. I understand that it is actually unprecedented for every single member of the committee to make a contribution. So we are humbled by the level of support that the adoption has enjoyed amongst the committee, but we know that the real work starts now. We have a strong suite of plans and commitments, and they all need to be implemented to ensure that we can come back to UNESCO and report positively on actions today.
Jackie Trad, was it the kind of wake-up call that the country, both governments at a state and federal, needed in terms of looking after this beautiful, really sort of heritage piece of heritage that we have as a nation?
Absolutely, Beverly. There is no doubt that both the campaign by civil society and environment groups, the attention of UNESCO and the IUCN, all of that focus, all of that intensity meant that Queensland and Australia needed to do in 18 months what would have taken 10 years to do. And I'm glad that as a member of the Palaszczuk Labor government, we took a strong suite of policies to the last state election that meant that we had a much stronger position, a much stronger negotiating position at this UNESCO session.
As you pointed out, though, the hard work has now begins. There is this issue of poor water quality. We've got the crown of thorns starfish, and of course the ongoing effects of climate change. What are the priorities, do you think, going forward?
We have already introduced legislation into the Queensland Parliament to prohibit the dumping of capital dredge spoil in the whole World Heritage Area. We have already formed the independent scientific advisory group that will assist us to drive those ambitious but scientifically robust reductions in sediment and pollutants running into the reef. And we will make sure that we have a big national conversation about a strong leadership position that Australia should take in to Paris during the determinations around action on climate change at a global level. So we know that there's much more to do, but we have already rolled up our sleeves. We understand the challenge of the task ahead, but we're more than up to it.
Are you getting the cooperation you need from the federal government?
Clearly, the federal government has played a very big role in terms of ensuring that the long-term sustainability plan is a plan that the that UNESCO can have confidence in. But we know that without the strong suite of policies that Queensland Labor took to the last election, that report, the long-term sustainability report, would not have been as strong. So we need to work in partnership together. Where the federal government does need to do a lot more work is in ensuring that we go into Paris at the end of this year with a strong leadership position on tackling climate change.
At this meeting at UNESCO, should these commitments not be followed through on, is there a chance that they would once again revisit this decision?
There are clear reporting timeframes in terms of the draft report that was adopted today. The first reporting deadline is at the end of 2016. We need to report on progress in terms of implementing the long-term sustainability plan. And then in 2020, UNESCO wants to revisit the long-term sustainability report and the issue of the health of the Great Barrier Reef. So by no means is Queensland or Australia out of the international spotlight. We've got a plan, we've got a suite of commitments. Now the real work of implementing all of those commitments and implementing our plan starts. And the eyes of the world, the eyes of UNESCO will continue to watch, because the Great Barrier Reef is much loved by everyone across the globe. And that was very clear from every single member nation's contribution today.
Jackie Trad, thanks for joining us tonight.
Thanks, Beverly.